Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Nicole, and in today's video, we are going to be setting up the month of November in my bullet journal. But first thing is first, I have a package and I am so excited about it. Anytime that Hubman and Chubgirl reaches out to me, I swear I am like a kid on Christmas. I love their stuff so much, and I get super excited anytime that they reach out about wanting to work with me. So you'll see me here opening up all of the goodies that they sent over, and I chose a lot of sheets from their Calm Koi Palm collection, which is what we're going to be using in my monthly spread in today's video. But I'm also showing you a bunch of the other sheets that I picked up, including this like playlist now playing sheet, which has to be probably my favorite sheet that Hubman and Chubgirl offers. I got this the first time I received product, and I used up the sheets that I got so quickly, so I'm super excited to have another sheet of those. And I also grabbed a few of the variety packs in different themes, and this is something that I got last time, and I learned that I love this offering from them. It's basically like a bundle of sheets where all of the sheets are made out of like different materials. So the sheets have like washi, some are foiled, holographic, that kind of thing. And I love these because I haven't been using traditional kits in a long time, but this is a way to get something super cohesive that's not a kit. So once again, thank you so much to Hubman and Chubgirl for sending over all of these goodies. If you want to check out Hubman and Chubgirl for yourself, I do have a discount code that I will put up here on the screen right now, and it will be down in the description along with a link to the store. So feel free to check that out if you are interested. So we will get to, I guess, the elephant in the room, or video, I should say, which is the notebook that I am currently working in. But before we get too deep into the footage, I do want to talk about what I am actually doing in the spread. So I went ahead and drew the calendar shape off screen because when it comes to like counting and using a ruler, I just cannot do it right on camera. So I just decided to do that before I turned on the camera. But what I'm doing now is covering all of the space around the camera in a wash of blue. So this is meant to sort of, I guess, emulate the water of the ponds, which is the theme of the spread. And I am using one of my Ohuhu brush markers. And this is a water-based marker that works great onto my river paper. But I will say, if you choose to do this, I recommend using a light color. Last month in my October monthly spread, I used a black Tombow water-based marker, and it would transfer onto my hand like it was nobody's business. So it didn't do that for this marker, and I'm assuming that's because it's a pretty light marker, but I would just take caution if you're using a dark black marker. I would use a Tombow Fudenosuke marker instead of a water-based brush pen. But like I said, this is a light color. I had no issues with transferring with this. So after I finished coloring in the background completely, I laid down 2 washi tapes. Now, this collection did have washi tapes, but I didn't pick them up, so I'm using ones that I already had in my stash. This first one that I laid down that has a bunch of like drawn squares on it, that one is from Scotch. And the red poppy washi tape is from a set from Amazon that I will have linked down below. And I liked these because I felt like they complemented the collection, but they also have some extra colors that will help me later because I decided to color code my calendar. Next, I went to work on the title, and I made the mistake of coloring everything in before doing the title because I was originally planning on just writing it into the book. But since I made it all blue, I did pull out this scrap piece of paper from something I had printed earlier for my journal, and I lettered November out on this, and I will just cut it out and use my tape roller to tape it in. So no big deal there, just had to do like a quick change of plans. Everything works out in the end, and I really like the effect of the layering as well. Then I'm sort of doing the same situation with the days of the week headers. I don't even always include day of the week headers on my monthly calendars because I know I like a Monday start and sometimes I just don't feel like it's necessary. But since I had the room, I used a wash of orange and then put the days of the week on top of that and cut them out similar to the way I did the title. You'll see that they just kind of float around on the top of the spread before I actually glue them down, and that was because I wasn't positive I wanted to use orange. I had a bunch of other colors picked out that I was choosing between, and I didn't want to put them down until I was sure, even though that's dumb because I use removable adhesive anyway. So they're just going to kind of move around and be annoying for a little bit, but I promise I do eventually just like put them down with glue and they'll stop doing that. But after that, I just start to add in my events. And while I am adding those in, I will talk about the notebook situation. So in my last couple videos, I was using an A5 Leuchtturm 1917 dot grid notebook, and obviously in this video, I am not. But that is because I actually finished that notebook. And by finishing it, I mean that I had like 25 pages or so left, and I could not bring myself to get into it. I was just over the notebook and I wanted to move on, so I did. And my friend said it was okay, so it is. So that is how we got here, and the notebook that you see me using in this video is actually an A5 Hobonichi lined notebook. This was something new that Hobonichi offered this year, and honestly, it kind of was not even on my radar to begin with. I think I just kind of passed over it when I was looking at the website initially, but then I saw somebody post about it, and I took a closer look, and I was super intrigued by it. I really like journaling in a lined notebook as opposed to a grid or a dot grid. And by journaling, I mean like long form journaling. Obviously, for like bullet journal spreads, you kind of want a grid or a dot grid in order to help you, space things out and draw straight lines. But if you look closely at the lines in this notebook, it's not your traditional lined notebook that you would see here in America. All of the lines have these like little dividers that are supposed to help you like line up kanji when you're writing in Japanese. So in effect, it actually does sort of have a dot grid, even though it is a lined notebook. And I thought that that would be perfect for a bullet journal because it would give me the lines that I like to use when I'm doing long form journaling, but it would have the quote unquote dot grid that I could use when I'm setting up spreads like this one. And it actually worked out really, really well because the amount of line divisions on each page equally divides into 4. So it's really easy to set up those weekly and monthly spreads. So that is what I'll be using up until I can't fit anything in this notebook anymore, which I'm assuming will be about 4 or 5 months or so. There are, I think, 288 pages in here, but the pages are not numbered, and I did not count them or number them myself, so we are just going to be guessing, I guess, for a lot of this, how many pages I have left, because I don't actually foresee myself counting them and numbering them myself. So we'll see how much I get in here, but like I said, I'm expecting about 4 to 5 months. And I am so happy to be back in a Hobonichi notebook with the Tomoe River paper. I love the Leuchtturm paper, but I was just really, really missing the Tomoe River paper. So I'm super excited to be back in a notebook that has it. I plan on using this notebook pretty much exactly the same way I was using my previous Leuchtturm notebook. I'm really loving the freedom that comes with using a blank notebook rather than something dated because it means that I can write as little or as much as I want every day, which is great. But the main reason I really, really like this is for when I want to add in spreads that aren't related to a specific day at all. This has particularly come in handy with like the World Series, for example, and the Olympics back in July. I was able to make spreads that either went over multiple days or really were not related to a specific day at all without having to take up a page for a day that I may have wanted to write something in otherwise. For some people, it's not an issue to ignore dates in the Hobonichi Cousin, for example, but for me, I really have a hard time with it. I can't explain why. I know in my head it's just a page, but having the blank pages here with nothing on them and the freedom to do whatever I want in the spread and use as many pages per month as I want is something that's been really freeing and something I've really enjoyed about these types of notebooks. So now I'm just finishing up writing in all of my events. I did color code these, so any like holidays were in that like peachy color. All of my events and appointments were in the orange, and the green was for paydays and days off. I'm also including my Pilates classes on this monthly calendar, but I didn't use a color. Instead, I used the lily pad stickers, and I did this because there were quite a few of those on the calendar, and I just thought if I assigned them a color, it might be a bit too much and too distracting to the eye, so that's why I opted to use the lily pads, sort of like bullet points. I tried to be a little bit prepared for this because I use my phone to film videos, so I can't access my Google Calendar, which is what I use to do all of my future planning. So I thought I would be prepared and write everything down on a sticky note, which you can kind of see in the top of the frame. But I still forgot stuff. Everything was written down on the calendar. I just still forgot to put things on the actual spreads. So I went ahead and added those in after I stopped filming, but I don't know why this keeps happening to me. It happens every single time, even when I'm not filming. But after all of the functional stuff is added to the spread, it is time for what was arguably my favorite part of creating this spread, which was just to fill the background with a bunch of stickers. Originally, I had the thought to put the tiny koi fish stickers into the tiny pond stickers, but then I decided that I didn't actually want to do that, and instead I wanted to fill everything except the pond stickers with fish and lily pads and cattails and all of the other fun things that came in the set. I particularly like the washi fish stickers that I used. And this is because since they're washi, you can kind of see through them, which means that you can see the blue marker underneath. And it's really cool because it kind of looks like the fish are underwater and you're seeing the water like on top of them. I thought that was a really cool touch. Not all of the stickers are washi, just the larger fish and the lily pads that were on the same sheet, but I really like the effect, and I also like the effect of having multiple types of stickers. So I have the washi, I have the normal paper, and sort of this like vinyl material as well. And after I kind of go crazy with the stickers, that's really all I have for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. And if you made it this far, thank you so much. Thank you again to Hubman and Chubgirl for sending me these stickers. I love working with them. And if you want to check out anything, once again, I do have a discount code and a link down in the description. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone.